called a cave without a name, and they have a campground, and this campground is part of the Harvest Hosts. And they have water. They said it was only electric only, but they do have water. If you don't hook up, there's not supposed to be a charge. We'll see if that holds true. But if you hook up, it's supposed to be $35 for the night. We chose not to hook up, or she said you could go down and park for free at the where you check in for the cave there. I don't know if it's called the visitor center or what. We've had a hectic morning this morning, and I can't think, so I'm just going to shut this camera off.
Follow the road into the sky. Never let adventures pass you by. Be free and follow your crazy dreams. We're living our vision in the RV. Come ride with us and you'll be free.
It is called the visitor center, and we're parked right there.
Like 25 feet. Yards? Literally, we could have walked over.
And here's the parking lot.
That's funny.
I wonder if we can park right here.
Sure.
Well, they told us we could park down by the visitor center too. Well, geez, we could have just... Oh, well. We could have parked up in that parking lot somewhere, probably. But this is an actual Harvest Host area right here too. Little gravel pads here. I was reading online. There's an interesting story about this cave.
Really?
Deep in the heart of Texas Hill Country lies a hidden gem, a place of breathtaking beauty and natural wonder, the cave without a name.
It used to be a canoe, but they made it into a chair. Cool. All right, let's go out because they're getting ready.
Is that everybody? Anybody missing anybody? All right, so my name's Mike. I'll be your tour guide. How many of you have not ever been in a cave before? Okay, several. Okay, so it's real important that you don't touch anything down here. It basically kills them and makes them ugly forever. So don't touch anything. Stay behind me. I know where all the good stuff is. If you stay behind me, you'll get to see it. I also know where all the dangerous spots like slippery floors and low ceilings. And
Evidence
sort
of prehistoric animal remains suggests that the creatures once roamed near its entrance, but human contact with the cave didn't begin until the early 20th century. According to legend, the first known discovery happened after a goat had fallen into the hole and became trapped in the natural sinkhole that serves as the cave's entrance. But after this brief encounter, the cave faded back into obscurity. That is, until the 1920s, during the era of Prohibition.
Are you scared?
No, I want to get so lit up.
Oh, yeah.
Deep in its uppermost cavern, a small moonshine distillery was set up, hidden away from the prying eyes of the law. But as the years passed and Prohibition came to an end, the cave was once again forgotten. It wasn't until 1935 that 3 local children, eager to explore, ventured beyond the remains of the old distillery. What they found was breathtaking, sculpted by nature over thousands of years.
Once they moved the rock, a goat fell in here, so the first people that we know of went down in here, went down to remove the body of that poor goat. Soon after that, some moonshiners found this place. They decided this was a perfect place to make whiskey during Prohibition, so they were making whiskey right down here for the last few years of Prohibition, and it wasn't until after Prohibition was over that some kids snuck in here. They were the first ones to go beyond where the still was and find a big part of the cave. They eventually told people what they had found. Got in big trouble.
Following this remarkable discovery, Jim Horn of San Antonio purchased the property, recognizing its potential as a public attraction. The cave officially opened in 1939, and shortly after, a statewide contest was held in 1940 to give it a name. One young boy, upon seeing the cave's beauty, simply said, "It's too beautiful to have a name." His words resonated with the judges, and he won the $50 cash prize, forever naming it the Cave Without a Name.
Was over. These kids snuck in here. They were the first ones to go beyond where the still was, right about there, and down into this pit. And if you can imagine.
In the late 1950s, the second owner, Eugene Ebel, attempted to rename it to Century Caverns. But the local community resisted the change, and after several years of pressure, the cave reclaimed its original and truly fitting name, Cave Without a Name.
Later, when they developed the cave, this little hole over here on the right did exist. This is where they had to dig out some dirt and rocks and crawl through there and out into that big room. But we're not going to go that way. We're going to go straight ahead. It's much warmer in this big room. If you're wearing glasses, your glasses are definitely going to fog up.
Wow.
All right, so over here is where those kids came out through that little crawlway, and everybody else before they blasted this open. And this is what they found. Of course, when they got in here, there were no lights, and there was no nice gravel floor. It was completely dark, and the floor was all mud. They had one working flashlight between the three of them and a kerosene lantern. They went both directions, and they found everything we're going to see on this tour. So how this cave formed is part of Livin River. It's loose underground in this area and has carved out these big stream passages. The water used to flow from that direction out that way. Eventually, all the passages back that direction silted up and filled up with mud. And for a while, the cave filled up with water. It was an underground, it was an underground lake. After a while, the water found its way out through other little cracks in the limestone, dissolved out a new stream passage, and left these big rooms where they dry. According to geologists, that event happened at least 150,000 years ago, and that's when the big
Today, it remains one of Texas' most stunning natural wonders, offering visitors a chance to step into a world where history, mystery, and nature converge.
and how these things form. Drop of water on the ceiling. As that drop sits there, a little ring of calcite crystals forms around the outside of the drop. Next drop comes along, leaves another little ring. Millions of drops later, you get a nice long hollow tube, just about as big around as a drop of water. And eventually these will clog up, and as they clog up, water starts oozing out the sides and forming these really strange things called stalactites. And stalactites can grow in any direction you can imagine. They'll go up, down, sideways. All right, so an interesting thing about this room is we know the ancient river flowed through here, out that direction somewhere. All these passages silted up. People love to come in here and speculate about how much more passage there is, and if there are more big rooms completely sealed off beyond here. Back in the 70s, some guys decided to stop talking and start digging. That's what happened over here. All they discovered by digging that direction is that the rock floor is about 14 feet below the mud floor. They didn't find anything. They just worked really hard, made a big hole, piled up a huge pile of mud right about there. And they didn't find anything. We've been moving that mud ever since. And we call this room the food court. That's because a lot of stuff looks like food in here, especially if you haven't had lunch. And you can see some popcorn. There's another really beautiful thing that also looks like food called white grapes. If you want to get a picture of the grapes, you can stand right back there. Just watch your head.
Now a designated national natural landmark, the Cave Without a Name is open to visitors who can explore its 6 main chambers, experience underground concerts and its incredible acoustics, and witness the same natural wonders that left those first explorers speechless back in 1939. And to this day, visitors agree, it truly is too beautiful to have a name.
Look at all that bacon. I'm hungry.
up here used to be filled with gravel and packed down solid, just like what you're standing on. Over the last several years, volunteers have been working on cleaning this stuff out, and it looks much better without all the gravel in it. You can see one of the highest ceilings in the cave, that's 65 or 70 feet. And not too long ago, a friend of ours ran ground penetrating radar over the top of this and found out that at the very top, it's only about 6 feet from the surface. So that's kind of exciting. And then over here on the left is the Texas-sized cave bacon. See where you're going.
I'm gonna turn the lights off.
So they put that pole down there to get water from the creek. And then they also had to make that hole at the top so that they could pour gravel down. And that's how the gravel got down here. It's through that hole.
What's this?
2 months, that was our job. This is the seventh longest cave in Texas, 5.7 kilometers, which is like 3.5 miles. And there's probably still a lot more to find in here. And to give you an idea of how high the water gets in here, here's the high water mark. From the 2002 flood, it rained 25 inches in 3 days, and then in 07 it rained a lot too. Now it's really low.
Stairs.
That was a really cool cave.
That
Really pretty.
was incredible.
Except the walk back up sucked. That tour took about an hour.
Yeah, well worth it. Oh my gosh,
It's pretty.
incredible.
I'm surprised to hear that from her because we done a few caves and she goes, I don't want to do any more caves.
Yeah.
And I could tell you weren't too excited about this one.
Right, because I
When I
always
told
feel
you
like
about it.
it seems like afterwards I always have like sinus issues, but this was one of the more incredible ones as far as the things you get to see. Is very, very cool.
After exploring the cave, Michelle and I highly recommend taking a stroll through historic downtown Boerne, Texas. I'm as hungry as a horse. Oh, is that desserts in there? It is pie. Look at that. Oh, there's a chocolate. Yeah, just a burger, huh?
Big size though.
Yeah, it is. A nice big size of coleslaw. This looks like a dinner, not a...
Looks good
Oh
though.
my heavens, that's catfish.
Good.
Here you go, sweetie. Enjoy. Found by German immigrants in 1852, this charming town is filled with beautifully preserved limestone buildings, unique boutiques, and great local eateries. Take a walk down Main Street. Browse the shops. When you're looking at antiques and you say, oh, I used to have that, I used to have that, makes you feel like an antique.
Yeah, I know.
We're antiques. This is a pretty neat area. It reminds us a lot of Fredericksburg.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lots of shops and
yeah, she's loving that.
yeah.
Some pretty neat stuff here.
Got us a little coffee.
And stop by landmarks like the Dinger Trading Company, Once a general store in the 1880s and now a cozy cafe and boutique. Whether you're looking for history, shopping, or just a relaxing afternoon, downtown Boerne is definitely worth a visit.
They got a video playing on the wall. See that? If you look at the name of this town, you probably think it's pronounced Boerne.
At least
We didn't know. Yeah, we thought it was Boerne all the time.
Yeah, it's actually pronounced Boerne.
Yep. We knew it the whole time.
Call it a day and celebrate. Let's celebrate. Call it a day. Let's celebrate. Call it a day and celebrate. Let's celebrate. Call it a day.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click that little bell, and hit that thumbs up.
Call it a day.
See you next week.